I'm Kevin O'Connor, and welcome back to Ask This Old House. Good morning, Tommy.
Good morning, Kevin.
So what have you got in store for us today?
Well, I've got a question from a homeowner that seems to be doing a lot of work on his house, but there's one part of the job that seems to be throwing him a curve. So I'm going to go help him out.
All right, sounds good. I look forward to it.
All right.
And we look forward to hearing from you. We have got the experts, and we will send them anywhere across the country if you have got a problem with your house. Just get in touch with us, and we might pay you a visit. Hey, good morning, Roger.
Morning.
Whoa, let me help you with that.
Heavy.
Whoa, what the? It's fake.
It's a fake rock.
That's awful.
It's just part of the solution we used to help a homeowner who had several problems in their front yard.
Yeah, what'd you do?
Put them to work. Morning, Sue. Morning, Dave.
Hey, Roger. Thanks for coming over.
Oh, my pleasure. But what happened to your front yard?
What happened was, well, because we're out in the country here and we have our own private water supply, we don't have town water, our well ran dry just before Christmas. So time to get the company in and see about drilling a new one.
Well, I see you found someone. The wellhead's over here, right in the front yard.
It had to be here, Roger, because we had to be 100 feet away from the septic, which is in the backyard.
Okay, here's the question. How deep would we go?
345 feet, and it cost $10 a foot, plus $1 a foot fuel surcharge.
Ouch.
Ouch is it.
Now, I've seen this operation many times. It involves two trucks. The first is a supply truck, and I can see where that backed in here. Now, the supply truck is loaded with pipe and casing, and he was so heavy that he created a trench right here, a depression that's almost 3 or 4 inches deep.
That's one of our problems.
The second truck is the drill truck. Now, you can see a depression here, and we know that the drill truck backed in right here, set up, and started drilling his hole right here. Now, part of the byproduct of the drilling operation is stone dust. Where the bit goes down through the stone, it creates stone dust, which is this material here, and there's no way grass will grow in that.
Right, that's filled the rut there.
Once the well is drilled, they have to get a water pipe to the house to supply you with water.
Right.
That has to be down 4 feet deep so it doesn't freeze. So they had to come in and dig a trench. But what happened is they dug up all this gravel and put it on top of your grass. And the grass will never grow in this.
Not in that.
That's our problem. We don't know what to do, where to start.
Well, you have a lot of big problems here that need to be dealt with. I might be able to help you with most of that, but you're going to have to do some of the finish work yourself.
Well, if you can get us started and get us back towards level, then we can do the reseeding, and that'll be fine.
Well, let's get to work.
Okie doke.
Okay.
Dave, let's start with the tire ruts.
Oh, okay.
What some people would do is come in and top this with topsoil, bring it up to this level, and then seed it. Now, the problem with that is twofold. One, this is all compacted soil in there, and that grass seed's going to germinate, and the roots aren't going to be able to get down very deep.
Yeah.
In the summer, it's going to dry out very easily. The second is, if you seed this with new grass, it's not going to match up to the old grass, and you're going to have two stripes right down the middle of the lawn.
That doesn't make sense.
No. What I want to do is save the existing grass, take it out of there, relieve the compaction, and then put it back in again. So to take the grass out, I'm going to use a sod cutter. It's got a motor up front and a drive belt, which goes down to this blade. Now the blade reciprocates back and forth, and we'll dig down 2 to 2.5 inches, then we'll lift the grass out of the rut and save it.
Okay.
Hold on to those handles for me, and I'll get it started. All right, Dave, let's see how that worked out.
Okay.
I'm going to make a cut right here. And I'm going to make another one about 12 inches or so beyond it. Now, what I want you to do is take that shovel and see if you can get underneath this. I want the whole thing lifted right out.
Okay.
Got it? Get it way under. Lift right up.
Yep.
Right on the side. Beautiful. Okay. We're going to go down, and I'm going to cut them about 1 foot apart, and I just want you to lift all of them up and stack them on the edge. You get to that side, yeah? So while Dave's working on the tire ruts, we're going to work on the trench for the water line. Now, we got to get rid of all this gravel that's here. We have no fancy machine to help us. It's just you and me and our shovels.
Okay. How far are we going down, Roger?
Well, the ground is going to tell us. We got to get all this gravel off. But see right here?
Yep.
That's your old grass right there, okay? So we don't want to dig that up. We want to take all the gravel off the top. So we're just going to kind of work along the edge, load it right in the wheelbarrow, and make it disappear. Now they're drilling wells across the street.
Yeah, 6 more houses going in now.
A little noisy, but it's not going to slow us down.
Let's go.
Well, we got all the sod out of our rut. Now we're going to have to loosen the compaction of this soil. We could use these spade forks to turn the soil over and loosen it up. And turn all this over. Now that's going to increase the volume of the soil to bring us back up to where we were before. But if you look at the length of this trench and how much we just got done, that's an awful lot of work.
It sure is.
I got a tool for us.
Good, good.
Another motor that drives a hydraulic pump. That hydraulic pump drives these steel tines on my rototiller. Now these are going to spin around and we're going to make 2 passes and do all the work we were going to do with a hand spade. So let me get it started.
Okay.
So, Roger, how's it looking?
It's looking great. You got all the gravel off the old lawn. That's perfect. And you found the edge of the trench. Now what we have to do is dig down this edge of the trench about 6 or 8 inches lower than your original grass level.
Okay.
We're going to add some compost and good soil in here so we can seed the whole area.
Alrighty.
So
sounds
keep
good.
digging.
Okay.
Oh, it looks good, Dave. Now, by rototilling, we loosened up all that compacted soil, and we increased the volume of the soil without adding any material. Now, once we raked it out, we're at the perfect level right there to put our grass back in place.
That's right. I'll keep raking.
And I'll start adding the grass in. Oh, so you see this?
Yeah.
They just replaced all the soil in the trench with the stone dust that was left from the drilling operation.
Oh, we got to get rid of all that, right, Roger?
We do, and put in good topsoil.
Okay.
Well, we've made some good progress.
Oh, yeah.
We used the sod cutter to cut a nice clean edge over here so it'll blend together nice. And we rototilled all this area so that all that soil is nice and prepared. When you put your seed down, it's really going to grow.
Great.
The only problem is we still have the wellhead in the middle of the yard.
Yeah, what can we do about that?
I was thinking about it. What if we create a mulch bed? We'll just start along this edge. We'll come out around the crab apple. That way you won't have to worry about cutting underneath it anymore. We're going to take and wrap it right down like this. Cut right back into our grass line. And I brought one more thing along, a fake rock. Now, I've seen a lot of fake rocks, and some of them look, well, fake. This one looks pretty good. So I thought we'd just take this, drop it over the wellhead, and the wellhead disappears.
It does look good, Roger. It really does, but it's going to look funny, isn't it, with just one rock in the middle there?
It does. I think we'll go out in the woods and grab a couple more weathered rocks to add to it, and then
Okay.
we'll put some perennials in here, and it'll be beautiful.
Sounds good.
All right, let me just move this over a little bit. I'm going to clean this out. Now, we'll just tip it up.
Okay. Yeah,
That feels pretty good. What do you think?
looks good right there, Roger.
All right, Dave, you want to bring that mulch in?
Okay.
You want to dump it right here? We're going to spread it out and cover the whole bed with mulch. Well, I think my work here is just about done. The tire tracks are all filled in.
Roger, I can't get over how fantastic that looks.
The area up near the house is all prepped for grass seeds.
Super.
The bed's all covered with mulch, and all it needs is a few perennials, and it'll be good to go.
We can take care of that in the seeding. Thank you so much, Roger.
Thanks a bunch, Roger.
All right, guys, this is going to be a tough one. It has a ceramic dome, and underneath that is a plastic cap, and underneath that, 3 steel legs and a moving impeller.
Oh, I love moving parts.
What is it?
I know exactly what it is because I keep one of these on my counter. Every morning I use it. Do you like scrambled eggs or like omelets?
Love scrambled eggs.
You know, I can crack an egg, but scrambling it, I have a lot of trouble with that. So I put it in there, and then I just take this right here, you put it in there, and it scrambles that egg right up. Perfect omelets.
You can't scramble your own eggs.
Yeah, they're lumpy.
You're more useless than I thought. Not at all. Now, as you guys know, I am very particular about my dental hygiene.
Yeah.
And the key to a good dental hygiene plan is the floss. All right, now I only have one problem. I can never get the floss back into the box when I'm done with it.
Reusing it?
Oh, yeah, you don't want to waste it. So I've got one of these right on the vanity, one for me, one for the missus. And when I'm done with the floss, I just simply put this in here and, ooh, wait, hang on a second. I put that right in there and it just wraps it up for me. Nice thing is, it spins it around and it kind of throws the pieces off. It works well.
Yeah. You didn't use it this morning, did you?
You got a little something up there.
Oh,
All
no.
right, boys.
Oh, I'm so embarrassed.
Should be.
You guys ever do Ouija boards when you were a kid?
Oh, yeah, they're a lot of fun.
This is the newest thing in Ouija. This thing's got everything. It's a gyro-based,
Yeah.
solar-powered. It ties in with a GPS satellite, has Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, everything.
Really?
Because of it, it's about 67% more accurate than an old Ouija.
Amazing.
Oh, so now, it's got a positive side on this side. Put your hand on here, Tommy.
Okay.
That's the negative
I'll
side.
be the negative, yeah.
Always the negative.
So what's the question?
Who's the biggest jerk on the crew?
I feel a pull right.
I feel something.
I feel a pull.
Jesus,
It's going
where's
to
it
my right. It's going
Where's
to
it
my right.
What's it going? Towards Mr. Floss Boy over there?
Wait a second.
Oh, Blacktooth.
I don't think this thing's working.
It's working.
Guys, I neglected one clue. This works in combination with a bird bath. And what it actually does is when you set it in the bird bath, it moves the water. And what that does is keeps the mosquitoes from coming and laying eggs. And also the birds will come because they like moving water.
And it's cleaning your floss.
So does it work?
Put your hands on. You ready? Does this really work?
Check back later.
Here's a house these homeowners just had to have, a classic bungalow in one of my favorite styles. Beautiful overhangs. And I love these wide porches. Look at the railing detail. Instead of balusters, they closed it in with shingles. On each end of the railing, these beautiful granite bases with these columns and the curved detail up top. Inside, even more detail and beautiful woodwork. So you like the bungalow?
We love it. This is exactly the type of house we were looking for when we were looking for a new home. And I actually found this home before it was even on the market.
Really?
Yep, we drove by. It was beautiful. It was exactly what I wanted. When I met the realtor and came in, I found that it had all the details I wanted. The beautiful fireplace with details and the
Bookcases.
built-ins, the bookcases on
And
the
you've-
side.
it's got all the classic details of a bungalow, and you've even furnished it right, too.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful shape.
It is. It's in very good shape, thanks in part to my husband, my own personal carpenter.
Well, I'm more of a handyman than a carpenter. But what we did do, this was such a dark space that Gil wanted to paint, lighten up by painting the risers, and I replaced all the stair treads and Scotia molding.
They put the Scotia molding underneath. Well, that's good. The Scotia molding is there to add support to the overhang and also cover up the gap between the underside of the stair tread and the space between the riser. And it's a beautiful job.
Well, it worked out well until I got to this curved section down here.
Curves can be tricky.
Well, this is one of the original pieces which I removed.
Oh, yeah, a piece of oak Scotia. And you can see it has a series of curve cuts in the back, which will allow it to bend and follow the riser. Let's see what you've done here.
Well, this is a failed attempt. I didn't know how to do that, so I just made little bits and segments and tacked them in.
Well, it actually looks like a bunch of little teeth, Bill.
Yeah, I know.
Well, I'm going to show you today how to make a curved piece of Scotia.
That'd be great.
First thing I want to do is I want to transfer the radius of this riser to the paper so I can make a template. So I taped a series of pieces of paper together. Next thing I want to do, using my compass, I want to follow the riser and transfer it to the paper. But it's very important that I hold my compass parallel to the straight part of the riser at all times, following it around. If I didn't do that and simply held my compass perpendicular to the riser, I would end up with the wrong size diameter. So let me start right in the middle, holding my compass parallel with the front. I'm going to come down around and watch the line will go down to nothing as I come in the front there. Now again, parallel with the front at all times. Start here, come around, holding it parallel. Now just cut along the line using my utility knife. After I cut this, I'll try it and see if I have to fine-tune it at all. Hopefully, this will fit. Let's see if it fits. Perfect. Now for our next step. Now we're going to transfer the paper template to a small piece of plywood. Now, I'll lay it on here, Bill, and hold it, because I don't want it to move. You want to trace right along that edge. When you come to the end, Bill, just keep going.
Okay.
Good, that's plenty. All right, now we'll cut that with a jigsaw. Bill, now you want to stay on the inside of that line. Leave a little bit of the wood on there. If we have to, we can sand it off afterwards. And I'll fine-tune it with a sander. Fits pretty good. Okay, now that cut that we just made represents the back side of the scotia. Now we have to mark for the front side of the scotia. So I've set my compass the thickness of the scotia. Now, this time I hold my compass perpendicular to the riser and follow it all the way around because now I want a larger radius. Now you notice I'm staying just outside the line because we'll fine-tune it later with the belt sander. Here's our plywood template. I'm actually going to make our scotia molding out of solid oak. So I cut 3 pieces and mitered them together so that our template will fit on them. Now what I want to do is glue the 3 pieces of oak together. Now I'm going to glue the template to the oak. All right, I've mounted my jigsaw on this plate right here to invert it, so when I follow the template, I'll get a nice square cut. I've taken my belt sander and I've clamped it tight to the table. Now with the oak and the template glued together, sand them down. To create the profile of our scotia molding, we're actually going to use a router with a cove bit in it. Now I've glued the plywood and the oak to a piece of MDF so it won't move.
What's this piece of wood for?
This piece of wood right here is actually the same depth of the 2 pieces of wood that are here, and this is actually a skate that I will ride my router on so that it won't tip on me. Now we're ready to route. All right, Bill, you want to do the honors?
Sure do. This is beautiful, Tom. It serves a far cry from the pieces that I had tacked in there before.
Fits right up there?
Beautiful.
Okay. Now, I would suggest, before you nail it into place, to stain it first.
Okay.
I know you can handle the piece out front. That's a nice straight run.
Oh, sure, that's the easy part. You did all the hard work, Tom. I appreciate it.
Well, it was a lot of fun.
That is a great fix.
Amazing, Tom.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I have a question.
All right.
Say this can represents the riser.
Okay.
Now, if I was trying to make the template of that riser, I would have taken my dividers, set it at about 1 inch, and just followed that can all the way around.
Yep.
And you're telling me that line would be wrong.
That's right. Because what you want to do is you want the back side of the molding, the radius of the back side of the molding to match the face of the riser. So look what happens when I put the molding against the riser. You have
All
a
the
space on
space,
each
yeah,
side.
yeah.
So by holding the dividers parallel with the front edge, when I scribe it, I'm going to follow it around like this, keeping it parallel with the front edge. Now watch what happens when I put the back side of the molding to the face of the riser.
Perfect.
It fits.
Wow. Like a glove.
That's exactly the trip point that most people get caught up on if you
Oh,
know
yeah?
what this Tommy.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Now, Tommy, I've seen this at the supply house. This is flexible.
That's a flexible resin. And you can get that. That's a stock side. That's a 3/4 inch scotia.
Yeah.
And you can paint that up nice.
Seems a lot easier.
Yeah, I mean, that would wrap around that riser, no problem. And like you said, if you're going to paint it, it'd be a perfect match. You never know that it's not oak.
Okay.
Right. Now you can stain it to look like oak, but really you got to learn how to faux paint a little bit because you want to match the grain and the color.
All right, well, good job, guys. Tommy, thanks a lot. Roger, good job. You, thanks for showing up.
I was here.
All right, well, we'd love to hear from you if you got a problem with your house. So until next time, I'm Kevin O'Connor.
I'm Richard Thuy.
I'm Roger Clay.
And I'm Tom Silva.
for Ask This Old House.
Now, with this, I wouldn't need all those tools, right?
But that's cheap.
If you have a question about your house or a tip you'd like to share, please let us know. Visit our website, pbs.org, for expert advice, step-by-step videos, and much more. Next time on Ask This Old House, Richard brings a little pressure to bear for this homeowner. And the guys ask, what is it? That's next time on Ask This Old House.